Does sunscreen cause vitamin D deficiency? Is it best to get your vitamin D from the sun? We have all your answers. Hey viewers, welcome to Fitnify, where we inspire you to live healthy lifestyle. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notification, so that you don't miss any of our videos. You may have heard every vitamin D myth under the sun. So many, in fact, that you might be at the point of throwing your hands up in the air in frustration. Why can't there be a simple answer? Humans evolved on a planet with a 24-hour cycle of light and dark, and our bodies are set up to work in partnership with sunlight. One of the most obvious examples of this is the production of vitamin D in the skin in response to UVB exposure. Few doses of vitamin D can help to strengthen our bones and teeth. Want to know how? Your body needs vitamin D. Its main job is to help the body absorb calcium from the intestines. This calcium is necessary to help mineralize the skeleton over the course of your lifetime and is a critical mineral for forming the hardened bone that keeps you strong and healthy. But how is vitamin D related to sun? When your skin is exposed to sunlight, it makes vitamin D from cholesterol. The sun's ultraviolet B, UVB, rays hit cholesterol in the skin cells, providing the energy for vitamin D synthesis to occur. But that doesn't mean you can stay longer time in sunlight to get more of vitamin D. Extreme exposure to UVB rays causes skin cancer, and protecting yourself against it makes sense. It's recommended to use sunblock like hats, sunscreens when outdoors in strong sunlight for any prolonged length of time. But wait. Does sunscreen affect vitamin D we get? People use sunscreen to protect their skin against sunburns and skin cancer. That's because sunscreen contains chemicals that either reflect, absorb, or scatter sunlight. When this happens, the skin is exposed to lower levels of harmful UV rays. However, because UVB rays are essential for making vitamin D, sunscreen could prevent the skin from producing it. In fact, some studies estimate that sunscreen of SPF 30 or more reduces vitamin D production in the body by about 95 to 98%. But prevailing studies show that people who use sunscreen daily can maintain their vitamin D levels. One of the explanations for this may be that no matter how much sunscreen you use or how high the SPF, some of the sun's UV rays reach your skin. An SPF 15 sunscreen filters out 93% of UVB rays, SPF 30 keeps out 97%, and SPF 50 filters out 98%. This leaves anywhere from 2 to 7% of solar UVB reaching your skin, even with high SPF sunscreens. And that's if you use them perfectly. That said, most of these studies were conducted over a short period of time. It's still unclear whether frequently wearing sunscreen has a long-term impact on vitamin D levels. So it's best recommended that, because skin cancer can be such a devastating disease, it's best to use sunblock when outdoors in strong sunlight for any prolonged length of time. Because this may limit the amount of vitamin D you get from sun exposure, make sure your diet includes sources of vitamin D from foods or supplements. Time to break another myth. There are claims that one needs to get a certain amount of sun exposure every day in order to produce enough vitamin D to be healthy. It's just not true. The majority of people can get their vitamin D from nutritional supplements and from vitamin D fortified foods. Here's how. There are two main kinds of vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. You can get vitamin D3 from certain foods like salmon, tuna, mackerel, and beef liver and egg yolks. But because you don't consume large enough quantities of these foods, they can't be your sole source of vitamin D. That's why foods like milk, cereal, and some orange juices are vitamin D2 and D3 fortified. After vitamin D is absorbed through the skin or acquired from food or supplements, it gets stored in the body's fat cells. Here it remains inactive until it's needed. Liver and kidneys turn the stored vitamin D into the active form. In case you were wondering, it doesn't matter if you're getting D2 or D3. The body can use each perfectly fine. Stay tuned to Fitnify to know more about all the foods rich in vitamin D. Another avenue to get vitamin D is by taking supplements. They are generally recommended for people with fat absorption issues, lactose intolerance, milk allergies, as well as for people with darker skin tones or with certain medical conditions that prevent them from going outdoors. You might be wondering why people with darker skin tones are recommended to have vitamin D supplements. Right? The color of your skin is determined by a pigment called melanin. People with darker skin typically have more melanin than people with lighter skin. Melanin helps protect the skin against damage from excess sunlight. It acts as a natural sunscreen and absorbs the sun's UV rays to defend against sunburn and skin cancers. But, because they absorb as much UV radiation, they are at higher risk for vitamin D deficiency. Because vitamin D is fat-soluble vitamin, your body can't get rid of it if you take too much. Vitamin D from sunlight cannot reach toxic levels, but that with supplements can reach toxic levels if taken in large doses. Before you start taking any supplements, don't forget to talk to your doctor. So what's the bottom line? You don't need sunlight every day. It's best to use sunblock when outdoors in strong sunlight for any prolonged length of time to avoid skin cancer and other damages to skin. This may limit the amount of vitamin D you get from sun exposure, so make sure your diet includes sources of vitamin D from foods or supplements as well. So, how did you like the video? Comment and let us know. Stay tuned for more health and fitness information videos. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy.